standpoint, what do you think about sleep in the sense of creativity? You know, I've heard a lot about solutions to problems have come to people in their dreams or right upon waking up, right? Where you have that sort of novel idea right upon waking up, and they suggest that you put the notebook right next to your bed and you quickly jot down whatever it is that either you dreamed of or you thought of right upon waking up. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I increasingly believe that that sleep or dreaming state is in some ways similar to the kind of states that Adam Green was generating with the transcranial direct current stimulator, or maybe generated with psychedelic drugs, where we're eliminating certain constraints on the available cognitive activation states. We're also inhibiting motor activity in a way that is weird. But that aside, dreams represent a really interesting form of mental representation, free of external stimulus and somewhat less constrained by the internal drive states. So it's in some ways like a more free-floating, unconstrained brain activation pattern that we can get out of dreaming. So I think in that way, it really is interesting. I mean, I think that's probably why Auguste Kekulé dreamt about the snake biting its tail and figured out that the 6 carbons actually were in a ring structure that made benzene. That was baffling people. They knew there were 6 carbons. They couldn't figure out, well, how could there be 6 carbons and have all these other properties? Figured out it's a ring. One of the key things, though, is that kind of dream discovery and the aha experiences that come out of dreams usually favors the well-prepared. So it was only after Auguste Kekulé had been busting his butt for I don't know how long in his laboratory, not sleeping for days, weeks, months, working on this problem, thinking about so his brain was filled with representations of these 6 carbons. And then he relaxes the constraints a little bit, stops constraining the way that it had to be, and came up with this novel idea. So I think dreaming can actually be beneficial. And
sleeping probably can be beneficial too.
Well, now sleeping is probably beneficial for in a whole other bunch of ways, because I think that now a prevailing hypothesis is that the non-REM sleep, the non-dreaming sleep, probably helps to clean out your brain of toxic wastes. That there's a change in the actual cell interfaces during deep sleep that enables toxic wastes that are coming out of the cells to go into the interstitial fluids and then be drained out of the CSF and filtered. So it seems like it's one of the mechanisms that can be preventative towards the development of some Alzheimer-like changes in the brain, and probably other inflammatory diseases, which are increasingly recognized as underlying a whole bunch of brain problems.
I think Paul McCartney came up with his Yesterday melodic tune in a dream too. But it wasn't just random. A, it's Paul McCartney. B, he's probably working on it for a while.